Good evening, guys. Let's practice our English today. Here you can see on the screen the list of the words that you've been studying with me. The first word, anticipate, word number one, shown on the screen. When you anticipate something, you expect something to happen. Expect, I expect it to happen because I want something from it. I'd expect her to come to the meeting because I need to talk to her. I anticipate her arrival. So you anticipate somebody. You have the word anticipate. Anticipate means expect. You expect for the real things, but when you use the word anticipate, it's much more about a little bit of imagination, all right? Imagination. You imagine and then you anticipate something is going to happen. That is anticipate, all right? You anticipate. You anticipate. After anticipate, you need to use a noun in English. A noun. The word form of anticipate, that is a verb in English. To anticipate some things, to, all right, expect something. And what is the difference and how do we use this word? You use anticipate with a noun in English, but if you expect with, okay, something like this, we expect somebody, okay, to do something, or we expect, okay, of something. Like, what do you expect of your English teacher? What do you expect, okay, of your parents? Or people are going to ask you, like, what do you want from your parents? You'd expect of somebody, or you'd expect of something. It means, okay, you want something from somebody, or what? Okay, want something from somebody or from something. This is the way. And here we have anticipate, expect, and the noun of anticipate, that is anticipation. Anticipation. For example, you can say that I have lots of anticipations for her visits, which means I want her to visit me, okay? And I imagine that she would visit me, but we don't know for sure. So when you expect somebody, just because of your imagination, you will use the word anticipate. But in Vietnamese, okay, they said that anticipate is the same as expect, but that is not the same. You anticipate something, it means you expect something based on your imagination. Based on your imagination. Imagination, that is anticipate. Okay, so we can say something like this. For example, okay, so I'm gonna move it like this. And let's move it to the side like this, all right? I anticipate my friends visit. I want them to visit me because I am so bored at my office like right now. And I usually make coffee and drink alone and then talk to the screen like this, look at the camera for a time. So I anticipate my friend's visit. Or I can say that my anticipation for my friend's visit is too much. So that is how you use anticipate as an action verb and anticipation as a noun in English. So let's practice anticipate first. And then we will go to the word expect, all right? Expect, and expectation. Expectation. What is the difference between anticipate and expect? When you expect something, you want something from the real, based on the real reason. For example, you go to school, you expect yourself to be an excellent student at school. So the real reason here is that you already go to school. So that is the difference between expect and anticipate. All right, so Crazy, okay, you need to speak up. Bill, okay, you have to show me your ideas. So right here, okay, Crazy, show me the situation, but you have to make it clear. You have to demonstrate a clear and vivid Vivid, the same as the word clear. But I think you guys are gonna forget the word vivid. That is why I use clear and vivid all the same time in my sentence. I want you to give me a clear, a vivid situation for anticipate. So, John, okay, crazy, please show me your situation, please. Show me the situation. So, so what do you think? So what do you think? I'm gonna have you a bit for 2 seconds. Anticipate, all right? I anticipate lots of things from my mother. I know that she can't afford to buy me big things, but I still anticipate her gift. And when I say I know that she can't buy me big things, she can't afford to buy me big things. The real reason here, she doesn't have money. So I use a structure, she can't afford to buy me big things. And I use the word anticipate in this situation because I want something from her and I know that that is impossible, but I still want it. And I still hope it's going to happen, but for sure, it would never, ever happen. So that is anticipate. You expect something based on your imagination. You know the real thing, but you still want it to happen. You just want to say it, or that you know that it never happens, but you just want to say it because you want to please your mouth. Somehow things do not happen as we want, but we still want to say something because saying will make us feel pleasure. Saying will please us, right? Please. Please is an action verb too. When I use the word please, okay, it means that sayings will make us feel satisfied. We can use the word please as an action verb to satisfy, to make somebody feel satisfied. Okay, so here let's go with this the word anticipate. So Crazy, show me your situation, please.
I am very excited for my big day. I want and I wait for it to come. And I think about it all the time and I wonder what will happen. Um and but I cannot I will smile and laugh when I think about this day and anticipation make me feel good inside.
Very good. Anticipation makes you feel good inside. That is a very good saying because it carries a very deep meaning. When you say anticipation makes you feel good inside, it means you know that it's not going to happen, but you still have hopes for it. So the feeling of hope when knowing that it's not going to happen, it's going to be fun too. It's like you want to be in love with a person, but you know that that person doesn't love you because that person has a partner already. So you can say that um, having a partner like this is going to make me feel happy. So it's just a saying. It's just ridiculous hope. The kind of hope would never come true. So you can say that I anticipate having that partner. Anticipate verbing, please remember. Anticipate in non-English or anticipate verbing. I anticipate having that partner. Although I know that it would never come true, but I still think my anticipation makes me so happy. The thought of having that partner as a girlfriend or a boyfriend makes me so happy. So that is a very good case of anticipation. All right, so let's move to the word. Let's move to Bill. Okay, Bill, show me the situation for anticipate, please. And crazy, please try to create a situation for both words, anticipate and expect, in one case. All right, Bill, please speak up for anticipate first.
I usually anticipate a small birthday party every year, but sometimes I think that my anticipation is become unrealistic. You know,
Yeah.
It's become unreal, and just because my parents always busy with their work, so
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So it's very good because you can make the case very clear and detailed. The case is suitable for you to use the word anticipate. And here, when we use the word expect in our situation, please remember to use expectation too. I expect myself to change, but you know that changes are so hard. And if you want big changes, you need to be a whole different person. And here, when you expect too much from yourself, you are gonna lose yourself somehow, or you're gonna make yourself hate your own self. So it's very what can we say is it's very dumb to say that we make ourselves hate our own selves. Well, yeah, because we want to change, but then we feel it's so hard for us. And then at the moment that we want to, at the moment when we want to change ourselves, we decide not to do it. So when you expect too much from yourself and you don't know your own, and you don't know your real abilities, you will suffer badly from your failures. So that is why they say that the higher you climb, the harder you fall. That is true. But somehow we need to learn a lesson, which is although we fall, we still feel happy, right? Because you need to fall to find yourselves. You need to fall to double check whether your expectations of yourself are able to be made to come true in real life or not. So we need to fall, we need to fail every test. We need to fall into a hell of mistakes, and whatever we do, we need to expect ourselves to get back up and keep fighting. So that is my situation for expectation, and expect yourself to change. And people often use the word expect of like this. You have never seen an action verb with off like this, right? But it happens. People are going to ask you, what do you want from me? That is a very simple question. Or they will ask something like this, what do you expect of me? That is the right grammar. We don't say, what do you expect from me? We say, what do you expect of me? So when you think of a question, what do you want from me? Change it. Change it to, what do you expect of me? You have expectations. You have expectations for me, to become somebody, but you don't help me to have the right steps to make my dreams come true. So if you want to use a non-English, you need to find a suitable verb. People often use have for expectation. You have your expectation. You explain your expectations for someone to understand. All right. So here, let's move. Let's listen to Crazy. Crazy, show me the situation, please. You can choose to give a case based on one word, expect or expectation, or you can give a case to include anticipate, anticipation, expect, and expectation, all words into one. So let's go Crazy first, please.
Um, I have many happy dreams about a special event. And the waiting is not easy, but I know it will be warm. And when the day finally arrives, I think I will so happy and I will smile and laugh a lot. I will have wonderful time and um I wonder what will happen and I expect it to be great and the anticipation make me feel good inside and I hope the day will please me and make me very happy.
Yeah. And when you speak, please try to be aware of a subject and a verb agreement. You use this subject like he, she, it, or a singular noun. You have to make sure of the verb with S or ES. So please be careful. All right, so let's move to Bill. Bill, show me your situation.
About a half year ago, I have started to play badminton.
Oh.
And when I started to play, I have anticipation to become the best. Everyone playing want to be the perfect one, the best one in a game or in a team. But then I feel that dream is too far for me.
Oh, too far from you.
So I decide to change my anticipation. So I expect to improve myself a little bit day by day, just to become better each day when I play.
Okay, very good. All right. So here, let's start. Something's going on. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Very good. For your example, here, let's move on to the next word, please. People use the word please like, give me some water, please. So the word please is just like a polite word for you to use when you request somebody to do something for you. All right. We have the word request. We need to practice to request somebody to do something for you, require somebody to do something for you. And please remember, request can be used as a noun, and it can also be used as an action verb too. And guys, please remember, in this class, we have only 2 students. Or, okay, the maximum, okay, number of students in this class are gonna be 5 students, okay? That is the maximum number. Because I don't want too many students in the class. I easily lose my focus. I have to focus on the grammar or the ideas. That is why, okay, I cannot allow as many students in the class. All right, so here we have the word like this. You have the word like this. Request, require, and boundary. All right, boundary. This word people love to use. Boundary. Think of the word boundary as the word limit or as the word line. You hate. This is my situation. You hate your friend at school. You hate your friend at school. And what you have to do is you have to make sure that your friend will sit far away from you. Please sit far away from me. However, your teacher makes you and your friend sit together at one desk. So the first thing that you would do to make him or her be aware of your role is that you draw you draw a boundary. You draw a boundary. You draw a line on the desk to separate the desk into two areas. This left area is mine and the right area is yours, okay? Don't cross the boundary. So the word boundary is loved to use because of its first, it sounds. Second, it's okay. This word boundary is much better than the word limit. Nobody say I'm gonna draw a limit. Draw a limit is a good action verb. It makes sense, but it doesn't sound as well as draw a boundary. So when you use the words, every word is in the right place and grammar is in the right choice, but somehow words or word choices depend on words pronunciation. So please be careful. Okay, so here I'm gonna use please, request, require, requirement, boundary in my situation. I try to please my eyes by reading books, but these days my laziness prevents me from acting on my plan. That is why I request myself not to go out. Whatever it takes not to go out. And how do I do? And what should I do to request or to require or to order myself like this? First, if I want to drink coffee, I force myself to make coffee and drink at home. And if I want to go out, I force myself to think about how much I will waste into bad coffee sold outside a store or on the street. So that is the requirement that I make for myself. Guys, in this situation, in this sentence, I use the word make a requirement. Requirement, as you can see on the screen, it is a noun in English. And whenever it is a noun, we need to use an action verb to use it. So you require somebody to do something or you make a requirement for somebody to do something, right? So here we have the word make a requirement in this sentence. Next situation is not another situation. It is just a small case related to the very first situation, boundary. I draw boundaries at my home. Somehow very weird. I don't want my cousins to drink my coffee because I don't like it. I don't know the reason why, but I don't like it. So I draw boundaries, okay? I draw a line on the table in the kitchen. This area is for me to put my coffee bags, and don't use the coffee bags on this area because this area is for me. So that is how I draw boundaries, at home. Second, I can make boundaries, for my friends when they want to hang out with me. And what are the boundaries that I make? What are the boundaries that I create for my friends? I create rules. If you ask me to hang out with you, you need to make sure that I will be able to come home before 12 a.m. because I have to rest and I have to take a little bit of time to rest before I close my eyes and I fall into deep sleep. I am such a hard person for sleeping. It's very difficult for me to fall asleep. So I needed a bit of time, in order for myself, in order for my mind to surf the internet, to surf Facebook, or Zalo, or TikTok, and then I will fall into deep sleep. So this is my situation. And here I just use a good word please. I please my eyes by reading books. It means whenever I read books, I read words, I read each word from each sentence in a book, it makes me feel so good inside. So reading makes me feel so great. Reading makes me feel so satisfied. That is how I use the word please in this situation. You please someone. It doesn't mean you ask the person to do something for you. When you please someone, it means you make that person feel great. You make that person feel satisfied, right? Okay, so let's move to Crazy. Crazy, show me your case for these words. So
I have to do some important things. And this my requirement. First, I need to clean my room. And first I need to clean my room. It's so messy, and I want it clear. And next, I must finish my homework. The teacher say it. I must finish my homework, and I also have to practice the guitar. I will work hard to meet all my requirement. If I do that thing, I will be happy, and my family will also proud of me.
proud, make sure of the pronunciation. It's good, very, very great. And please try to use the word boundary, because it's not an easy word to use. Boundary. I have boundaries for you. If you don't submit your homework prior to the deadline, or prior to the means before, this word is going to use word after prior to, you use a noun in English, or after before here. Okay, we can also use time, okay, time noun in English. Like, you have to submit your homework prior to 8 p.m. today, which means you have to hand in your homework before 9 p.m. today. So please be careful. All right, so here let's listen. Before we listen to Bill, I need to give you guys a few more words. And if it's possible, please try to use these words in your speaking, okay? Prior to, before. And you also have another word, which are fine, okay? Fine. I teach you by Zoom, okay? I sent you the book files by Zalo. Or I can use, okay, another way like via. I sent messages to you via Zalo. Via means by, okay? Here we don't use via when it comes to transport, when it comes to vehicles. Like I go here, I come here by car, but nobody says I come here via car. Never. You can only use via and by when it comes to social network. And social network here, okay, right? So the social network, the social platforms, Zalo, Facebook, messages, those are the social platforms. All right, so here, please try to use these words. Okay, Grace, did you have to create a case? And let's listen to Bill. Show me, please.
I like the feelings when I feel pleased. Why I do something that satisfy myself. But sometimes my laziness, it cover all of my body, and all of my body part on the part in my body, they establish to each other to be exhausted.
Exhausted.
Yeah, exhausted.
Yes, well, it worked like this: exhausted, exhausted.
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 Yeah, very good. Here you are talking about your laziness, and you said that my laziness is cover my body. We don't use cover in this case. You can use cover for blanket. When you go to bed, you feel cold, you will cover yourself with a blanket. covers somebody with a blanket. That is a structure for you to use when it comes to blanket. Okay, and here my laziness is feeling every part of my body. When you have the action verb feel, when you feel something, it means you make it full, make something full. So laziness is filling up every piece in my body. The word piece, okay, every piece means everywhere in my body. Very nice way of describing the words. Is good, okay. All right, so here we have to look back at the list of the vocabularies. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's continue. Here you have the word blur. Okay, let's leave athlete right there because nothing much for us to talk about athlete. We have to go from the hardest words first. Complicate, coordinate. Let's use these words. Complicate. Action verb, please. Coordinate. Okay, it's an action verb too. An action verb too. Okay, so here, when you complicate something, you make something become complicated. Complicate, action verb, complicated, but complicated, an adjective in English. And then complication, okay, is a noun in English. Complication is a noun in English. So please be careful of these words. Okay, so here is my situation for these: complicate, complicated, and complication. I don't know the reason why when it comes to studying, I love complicating the ways of studying. People will choose to find the meanings of the words and that the meanings of the words that they don't know from their reading book. But for me, when I find a new word from a paragraph that I read, instead of finding the meanings of the words, I will try to guess the meaning of the word, and then I will try to make situations based on the words. So it seems like I combine reading and speaking all together. So this is the way that I study, and this is the way that I have been training myself. And when I combine a reading skill and speaking skill at the same time like this, it's gonna be harder and it's gonna be much work. You will feel exhausted after you just read a few pages from the book, because each page I will find new words, and then I will look at the list of the new words, and after that, I just come up with my random situations for me to present, okay, for alone for myself. So it seems like I complicate the way that I study. And people look at me, okay, people look at my English proficiency, and people judge the way that I study because it seems so complicated for them. They think my ways of studying are very complicated for them to study. They cannot study like me. When it comes to reading, they just want to sit and read and then finish reading and then find, okay, the definitions of the words, translate everything from Vietnamese, from English to Vietnamese, and the other way around. But for me, okay, I will complicate each step of studying. So that is why people say that that is why people say that I tend to live in complications, and I tend to love complications in every job that I do. That is my first situation for complicate, coordinate, complicated, and complication. Okay. So right here, please. Chum, please, Gracie, please show me the situation of yours for 3 words: complicate, complicated, and complication. So, well, when it comes to this word, everybody seems to be stuck on ideas, right?
I create an idea, but when I hear what you say. It's the same as mine.
Yeah, and then you have to come up with another idea.
Yeah.
Or you can use my idea again, but you have to have your own ways of speaking. You cannot use my words, you cannot use my sentences again. So Gracie, okay, show me your situation, please. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys like 2 minutes for thinking. Let's say 2 minutes for thinking. You can talk about your life. You can talk about your family. What does your mother usually do to complicate things, right? Think about women, because women love to complicate everything when it comes to problems. Yeah, when we have problems, we just try to find a solution. But when it comes to women, the first thing that they do is they will complicate the problem in the way that they talk. So we just have a very simple problem. But when it comes to women, women, they will start to discuss the problems, and then they will ask people to identify the roots of the problems and the reason why and the causes. So you can talk about women's issues, or somehow men have the same issues. Some men will not will not directly focus on solving the problem, but some of men are just like women in this matter. Instead of fixing the problem, instead of solving the problem, the men will like to smoke a cigarette and then think and then talk. He talks until he is pleased by the way that he talks. Although he knows that nobody cares about what he is saying, although he knows that nobody likes the way he is talking, but he keeps talking. So that is the problem. And guys, please remember, when you use the structure although, don't use but, because I keep talking for the very last moment, but you guys haven't recognized the mistake that I showed you in my sentences. So I said that although he keeps talking and he knows that nobody likes him, he still talks. But I don't say that. I say although he keeps talking and nobody likes him, but he still talks. So when you use although, we don't use but, just like Vietnamese language, right? So here, create a situation for me, please. So what is your situation? It seems like you guys are stuck on ideas or something. Okay, so here, before I call the name, I'm gonna give you guys another time, a bit of time, another chance and a bit of time for you to think. And when you are thinking, when you have deep thoughts, I am gonna go to the word coordinate. And here we have a very good word here, like this, something under consideration, something under consideration, and something, it is about sense, all right, sense, like make sense. If something makes sense, it means it's very easy for you to understand that it makes sense. Or you can say that those things do not make any sense, which means those things are so hard to understand. And when I try to understand them, it's impossible for me so that it makes sense. All right, so first I have the phrase to be under consideration. And then I have make sense. Make sense, we have a preposition like this, another way for us to use, that is make sense of. To make sense of, you need to use it in English. So let's start by using these words together. To be under consideration means, you have to think about those matters deeply and carefully. That is to be under consideration. I hate English now because so many things for us to study. And I have to help you guys. Okay. Here, the antonym for this one, that is something out of consideration. Then something out of consideration for what is wrong with people these days? Why do they create such complicated languages like this, right? To be okay out of consideration and to be under consideration. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's use these words together. Coordinate, to be under consideration, to be out of consideration for somebody. Coordinate. What do we need to do to coordinate with other people? What do we need to do? We don't need to do anything. We just need to be ourselves. We just need to be good people. We just need to have, okay? We just need to have good characteristics, because people choose good people. People never choose bad persons. So that is why we just have to be ourselves, and we have to make sure that we own, O-W-N, we own good characteristics, guys. We own good characteristics. Please be careful. Here, coordinate. If I want to coordinate with you, I will check whether you have good characteristics, personalities or not, because I don't know for sure whether you are a bad person and you don't want to study, you just want to trick me or have fun with me. I don't want to have fun, I want to be serious. Coordination is under consideration. Coordination is under my consideration, which means I keep thinking about coordination with you. And if I can coordinate with you, I feel very good. I feel really pleased. So in this sentence, I say that coordination is under consideration, under my consideration. The second way for me to use this phrase, that is studying, studying further subjects is under my consideration. Because if I have been researching for another source of knowledge, I will be able to help you guys develop English in a broader ways. So that is to be consideration. Something is under consideration. Something is in deep consideration. Something is under consideration, which means something you keep thinking about something. So that is it. And right here we have a phrase, to be out of consideration for. Out of consideration. Just look at this word, out of here. It's not like get out of the room. No, out of here is nothing like this. When it is out of consideration, it means you stop thinking about it. You stop thinking about it. I stopped thinking about going out to buy coffee, although I have lots of coffee at home. So going out for cups of coffee is out of my consideration. For me to focus on my work more. So when something is out of consideration, it means you stop thinking about it. So this is the way, for you to advance your English. You shouldn't say that, oh, I don't think about this problem. It sounds too easy for people to understand you. So right now you make it sound complicated. You make people hate you just because your English is much better than them, right? So you can say that, I don't think about this problem, or this problem is out of my consideration. Okay, or this problem is out of consideration for me. So the word for here can be used for, after for, we use a person here. This problem is out of consideration for me, which means I stop thinking about this problem, all right? Okay, so that is my situation for, these two words. And here, I need to listen to Crazy. Okay, Crazy, can you show me your ideas? So Grace.
Um, I my life have something hard and they become complicated. This can cause the problem. The first, I have a lot of work to do. And this is not easy, and they make my life more difficult. And next, I have many rules to follow, and the rules are too complicated. I also have many choices to make it. It's hard to decide, and the options are confusing.
The what are confusing, crazy.
Often,
Option, right?
yeah.
Okay. So please remember the shana option. Very good. So please go on with your speech.
And when the thing get its way, it creates complication, and my life will become more messy and stressful. I think I um need to work hard to deal with my complication.
I need to work hard
To deal with to deal with the complication.
very good. To deal with my complication, it makes sense. Your sentence makes sense. All right, your sentence makes sense. Very good. Okay, so guys, please remember these words. Under consideration means you think about something. Out of consideration means you stop thinking about something. Those are the choices for you to replace your old English. We shouldn't say that. Oh, today I don't think about you. It sounds so easy, right? Today you are out of consideration for me. Okay, so that is it, right? So great. Bill, can you speak up? Show me your situation, please. And please speak loudly.
So nowadays I feel complicated to balance my daily routine because there are a lot of things I have to put them to be under my consideration, and that complicate me a lot when
very good.
When
Yes.
there are a lot of things I want to do, but that unnecessary for me. So I started. So I would something out of my conversation for me to I can I can tie up myself.
You can be strict to yourself. When you use the word tie up, people are gonna think about slave. Like you use a rope to tie a person to something, so that is tied up. Don't or you can use a tie like a cravat. You tie a cravat, okay? You make a knot. Don't use the word tie up when it comes to self-controlling. You should say that you will force yourself in some ways, right? Yes, obligate. Yes. Oh, you will obligate yourself to do something. Okay, very good. And here we have a few action verbs for consideration. take something into consideration, give consideration to, show consideration for. Everything just means you think about something. And here you can say that for example, I can say that I take every chance of my life into consideration, which means whenever I have chances, I will try my best to serve people. And when serving people, I discover lots of mistakes. After my awareness of my wrongdoings, I will definitely give my consideration to those mistakes. And when I give considerations to the mistakes, I keep asking myself the reason why I act like this. And I keep asking myself how I make these things happen. After lots of questions are raised by me, I show deep considerations for the solutions to those problems. So that is how you say, okay, when you want to say that, you have deep thoughts about something. You think about something too much. You carefully think about something. You will use, okay, the phrase take something into consideration, give consideration to something, show consideration for something. Here, this is the C1 and C2 Cambridge, okay, vocabulary. And if you want to use C1 and C2 Cambridge, okay, you have to train yourself to speak more. You cannot learn by heart all the vocabularies. What we need to do with vocabularies, what do we need to do? We have to practice those vocabularies into cases. You need to make cases to use these vocabularies verbally, okay? Here, let's start. First, I will use the word take the consideration with the word with the action verb make sense or make sense of. Make sense, when you say that something makes sense, it means you understand it. For example, this problem makes sense. Oh, this problem is understandable. All right, so this action verb is the same as understandable. Understandable. Understandable is an adjective in English. You can ask somebody like this, do you understand this lesson? That is a very direct question, a direct question. It means you directly ask the person whether you understand the lesson. Like, do you understand the lesson? A direct question. But here you could go another way around, okay, to ask that person, is this lesson understandable? Yeah, okay. So when you change an action verb to an adjective in English, it sounds very complicated. But if you understand the way to get the meanings of the words, it's not that complicated anymore. It's gonna sound more sophisticated. I love the word sophisticated, guys. I'm gonna type it right here for you to use the word with me. Sophisticated, and then we'll have the word like sophisticate, okay, as an action verb. And then you have another word like sophistication. Love it. And sophisticated is a word that Chiến has been using when he performs his comedy shows. Sophisticated, it means tinh xảo, tinh vi, right? Here, okay, very tinh vi, very tinh xảo. You have the word sophisticated. Here, let's use these words. How, okay, look at these words. It looks very, look at these words. They look very, they look like a matrix. Matrix, all right? Macam. You have the word matrix, a matrix. Because I've been teaching English on BRAMAT, and whenever I teach too much, the knowledge shown on the BRAMAT looks like a matrix, right? Let's go creating a situation based on these words, all right? Based on these words, sophisticated, sophisticate, sophistication. All right, these days, people can trick other ones easily. The way that they trick people is so sophisticated. For example, you can see Minh Tuệ, monk, okay, he is not a monk. He is just a normal person in Vietnam, but he walks from the north Vietnam to the south of Vietnam. So when you see Mr. Minh Tuệ, you can think of a sophisticated man. This man can do so many things, but nobody knows whether he is a real monk or not, or whether he really or actually practices Buddhism or not. And here, I don't think you understand this one. Practice Buddhism. Okay, Buddhism.
No battery.
Practice Buddhism is Vietnamese mean tụng kinh, right? Tụng kinh, tụng kinh. Tôi phải đi tụng kinh. I need to go to practice Buddhism. So that is the way for you to say something like this. On here, I say that the trick of Mr. Minh Tuệ, in this situation is very sophisticated. His way of practicing Buddhism is not easy for people to understand. So we can say that his way is both sophisticated and complicated, and the sophistication of his actions makes people admire, because nobody can have so many people like this. And when we look at Mr. Minh Tuệ, we think of Mr. Võ Hoàng Yên, in this city, in this country. You know Võ Hoàng Yên, right? Võ Hoàng Yên is a very famous, is a very famous doctor, in Vietnam, but he never ever helps any people to feel better when they are sick. However, he has a very good way to advertise himself. He has a very good way to attract customers. He has a group of people working for him. And this group of people, we go everywhere with him, And whenever he goes, this group of people, we follow him. So when we see a person with lots of people following, we think that this person is famous. That is the problem of Vietnamese people. Whenever we see a person going somewhere with lots of people, we think that person is famous. So in the case of Mr. Minh Tuệ and the case of Mr. Võ Hoàng Yên, are the same in this situation. So that is just a sophistication of tricks. All right. Mr. Minh Tuệ has used a sophisticated way to sophisticate his situation. He sophisticates his situation by making people look at him like a real Buddhist, right? He can walk under the rain. He can still live under the sunlight, extreme UV sunlight, and he can sleep in the graveyard. So that is how a Buddhist is born when it comes to the sophisticated situation of Mr. Minh Tuệ. But here, when the world looks at him, when the world look at him, they say that the case of this Mr. Minh Tuệ doesn't make any sense. People in the foreign countries say that the Buddhist, Mr. Buddhist is not like this. When you can walk from the north of Vietnam to the south of Vietnam, we don't care because you walk on your feet, When you can sleep, in the graveyard, we don't care because you are homeless, you are jobless. So foreigners say that, the case of Mr. Minh Tuệ doesn't make any sense. Or we can say his case is not understandable. We cannot understand his case of practicing Buddhism, Practicing Buddhism, or you can say something to, practicing Buddhism. All right. Make sense of. How do I use make sense of? I cannot make sense of Mr. Minh Tuě's situation. It means I can't understand anything about his trick or his situation. So when you use make sense of something, it means understand, that's it. Understand, just understand. It's weird, right? Foreigners, just like Vietnamese people, they love to complicate their languages by many ways of speaking. But every ways of speaking just sounds the same, right? Nothing is different. Everything just sounds the same. Make sense. Make sense of something. That means, can you make sense of my lesson today? That is the first way to ask. Can you make sense of my lesson today? Or I can ask you something like this. Do you understand my lesson today? Yeah, that is it. All right, so let's listen to Crazy and Bill, okay, all together for the last time. So Crazy, please speak up. Okay, show me your situation for these list of words here. Sophisticated, sophistication, make sense, understandable, make sense of. Please, let's go. All right, if you can use practice Buddhism, please try to use this word, because when I want to say okay, I have to find this word, okay, on Google, because it's the vocabulary related to Buddhism religion. So it's not like simple English anymore. We need to find the right words. Okay, we are gonna study, okay, vocabularies about Buddhism, in the next class. It's just Ielts speaking, okay, or an interview.
You just taught us about that last class.
All right, I forgot that. Okay, so let's go. Crazy, please speak up, and then Bill for the last time. So let's go, Crazy. Show me your situation.
When I see
So
when
I cannot hear anything, Crazy. Can you speak up?
Hello, teacher.
Yeah, okay. So show me your situation, please.
When I see some people have a lot of knowledge and skill, I think they are so sophisticated. They will dress in expensive clothes because they have a lot of money to buy that, and they use big important sounding word when they talk, and so 50K people enjoy the activity like going to art show or listening to classical music. And I think ordinary people can be just good, even if they are not fancy or educated. And that's all.
Yeah, and that's all. All right, it sounds good, but for the very first sentence of your speaking, you say something about when you look at people, when you see people have knowledge and cute, you think they are sophisticated. Please remember, you make a sentence with an adjective, you have to use to be. Sophisticate is an action verb. You sophisticate something. It means you make that thing sophisticated. I sophisticate English because I don't want you to understand my English. So I sophisticate everything that I say. That is the way. Here, okay. I see people have knowledge and cute. Cute is an adjective. Not have knowledge is an action verb. You cannot put an action verb sentence and an adjective together. People have knowledge and cute. No. When speaking, people understand, but when writing, you are gonna lose scores. Yeah, or you go to have an examination in Ielts, you are gonna be given very bad scores. So if you want to use an adjective and an action verb together, never. You just put action verb in one sentence and an adjective in another sentence. For example, you can use the structure ma, who, what's that? I see that. I see. See is an action verb, and then after see, you want to use a whole sentence in English. You should say I see that. Don't say I see people have knowledge and cute. That is wrong. The first mistake is I see. Again, after see, after an action verb, you just keep using another sentence. That is wrong. After an action verb, we need to use that, and after that, we will be able to use a sentence. So I see that. Please remember that, okay? I see that. People have knowledge until no. This is the second mistake. Action verb sentence. People have knowledge. Have is an action verb. And people have knowledge is a full sentence with an action verb. And then you use acute. Cute is an adjective. So you cannot use one adjective with a sentence in English. It's wrong. So we should say that people who have knowledge are very cute. We should use the structure who, whom, which, that in the middle of the sentence. You separate a subject and you separate the main information, and then you just put, okay, who, whom, which, that in the middle of your situation. That is the way. All right, another 3 minutes. The last 3 minutes in the class is going to be the time for Bill to speak. Bill, please show me your situation.
When I'm watching a Got Talent show, America. Yeah, a Got Talent show, and when I'm watching Got Talent shows, I can watch a lot of magician performances.
Right.
And they are so sophisticated, their performance.
They are so sophisticated. Look at this word, sophisticate, C-A-T-E, cate is an action verb. If you say there are, you should say they are sophisticated. Sophisticated adjective. So please go on, very good.
So they are sophisticated in their performance. And when I'm watching their performance, I can feel like they don't make any sense.
Yeah, that's it.
And it isn't understandable for me.
Very good.
And what else I can talk about it? But when I think about them, my brain are not training.
My brain are not
connecting with each other, like relevant to each other, are not relevant to each other.
You are talking about the neurons in your brain. We have one brain, but inside the brain we have lots of neurons. Because that my neurons are not connected to each other.
I thought the brain is separated into two.
Oh, the brain is separated into two pieces. All right, but you should say the first piece of brain and the second piece of brain. But if you say two brains, people are gonna misunderstand your point. Yes. Okay, so not much, but it's good, right? It's good, guys. Okay, so here, Crazy, you have another class with me in the afternoon tomorrow. And tomorrow afternoon, okay, let's study from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Please message me on Zalo for the times confirmation because you are off one class this 4 p.m. today. So we need to have a makeup class tomorrow at 3 p.m. because I don't have, because I cannot arrange time for 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. All right, let's meet together at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Crazy, any questions, any information should be exchanged via Zalo. Okay, so I'm gonna try my best to make people to send you the recorded videos which are uploaded on YouTube channel because we don't have much time. Okay, so here, thanks a lot, and I'm gonna end the Zoom right now. Tom and Bill, after you study with me, please try to sit and write, sit and write, sit and write, and then sit and make presentations. Upload everything on YouTube, sit and write and sit and make presentations. That is what I want you guys to do. That is the only way for you to upgrade your English. Okay, too much information is given. Goodbye and bye-bye.